July 10th, good afternoon, St. Louis, and welcome into Daily Cards Live. That's Joe Roderick, that's Bob Ramsey, and I'm Matthew Rocchio, and we have a special three-man, three-headed monster version of Daily Cards Live today. How's everybody doing? Joe Roderick, of course, live in Seattle right now. How's it going so far, Joe?
Well, I'm going to be looking over my shoulder here because batting practice right now for the Home Run Derby is going on, and we are sitting here in the Hit It Here bar. They have the auxiliary press box for the second time in 3 years. Yeah, 3 years they have put the auxiliary press box in basically a home run area. They did this in Colorado, and they're doing it here again to where we are in the landing zone. And Adley Rutschman was just taking batting practice before his derby and put one up here about 100 feet over to my right. And yeah, he's going to be up first against Luis Robert in the derby. So I'm going to put my computer away and tuck it underneath the seat.
Rammer, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I was on vacation and struggled a little bit with following the Cardinals, but I got just enough information to make me not feel so bad about it.
Interesting. What information were you told about the last 10 days of Cardinals baseball?
Well, I just know when the information I did get made me go, "Ooh, okay. See what happens tomorrow."
So earlier today was the media day out here, and the Cardinals only having one representative, Nolan Arenado. That's the only one from the National League that I really talked to. I did have a nice back and forth, and I'll get to it with two of the players, one on the American and one on the National League. I'll get to that in a second. But talked with Nolan Arenado, and Derek Gould was right there with me too, and kind of talked to him about the trade rumors going around, and basically. I asked him too. I asked him point blank, and I think they're going to play it on Camo X tonight. Some of the audio. What positives can you draw from the first half of the season? And Arenado said, "You know what? I think we have the fifth highest offense this year in baseball." And he goes, "That's about it." He goes, "But everything else," he goes, "Our defense has been bad." He goes, "We haven't won close games." And he said it's been frustrating. It's been a struggle. And I kind of followed up that defensive one with him because, we've seen this Cardinals defense be a lot worse than it has been in recent years. And I said, how much of that is due to the lack of the shift from all of the numbers, all of the analytics that you guys have run with the shift over the last few years and not having it anymore? What does that have to do with it? And he said he thinks that does play a pretty big role, that the adjustment to the Cardinals going back and not shifting anymore has kind of played into some of their poor defense.
Well, my question would be then, why hasn't it affected all teams' defenses? And why does a shift make you bobble a ball or not get the backhand or throw wild? I appreciate what he's saying. He was trying to embrace the question. I'm not sure I buy it unless somebody's good or bad hands are because of metrics. I don't see it.
Yeah, Julio Rodriguez is in the batting cage right now, getting ready to take a BP before this.
He's wanted to do that thing where he launches the ball 400 feet, even when he's not in batting practice. So I'm sure he's putting on an absolute show. But yeah, I get what he's trying to say there. But it's just like you said, there's just I can just picture so many simple balls in the infield that were just mishandled, and then that's like you can make the argument, like you said. Well, maybe he's saying, well, you're 3 feet, to one side now than you were last time, and that's the different thing. And I get that thought process, but again, your major league players, this is a team that made a huge improvement. It was winning Gold Gloves all over the field last year, and now they're bobbling balls all over the place. And again, he's also ignoring the fact that there's been games because of defensive lineups where the ball's just fallen in the outfield because you just don't have guys who can get to it the way a major league player should, and that part, kind of can skirt through the cracks in the stats a little bit.
I think if he wanted to make an argument that our pitchers' ERAs are up because by keeping us in a different position that we might normally be, we've got good gloves, we've got good arms, we've got good hands, and when you put us in the exact right position, we're going to take away more hits. But that's as far as I'm willing to go with him.
Well, Joe, we don't necessarily have a lineup necessarily today, but are we going to say Bootleg and Bob's and Bootleg and Tavern brings up our Home Run Derby bracket for today with the Home Run Derby coverage coming up here at 7 p.m. for the Home Run Derby, and then obviously festivities get underway right off the bat.
Absolutely. Yeah, Bootleg and Bob's. Hey, Bootleg and Bob's opened at 5 o'clock tonight. They have the pop-up food trucks each and every night out there, so you can head out there. They have the game on. They'll have the Derby on. Get that dive bar feel out there at Bootleg and Bob's in Tower Grove, and get yourself something to eat, get yourself something to drink, and watch the Derby tonight. So Luis Robert, he's your 1 seed. He is going to be taking on Adley Rutschman in the first round. And then you have the other two Cubans, Adolis Garcia versus Randy Arozarena, former Memphis Redbird teammates, going in the 4-5 matchup. Pete Alonso, the 2-time winner, going up against the hometown hero, Julio Rodriguez. And then the 3-6 matchup, Mookie Betts and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. A few bets that you can put on some of these. Rock, I will ask you this. Okay. Who of those 8 is going to hit the farthest home run of the night?
Oh, okay. The farthest home run. See, you were talking about Rutschman, and with him being the longest odds of the night, I just was going to ask you overall, like, how quickly do I need to get in my car and drive over to Illinois and bet on that plus 2,000? You're seeing but if you had to go with the furthest one, I'm going to go with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., mainly because the combination of big swing and I don't care about, like, holding myself back just because it's the All-Star break and I don't want to screw up my swing. The combination of those two things, either everybody else either doesn't have his swing or everyone else might be a little bit more like, well, I'm going to hold back so I don't ruin my stroke for the rest of the year. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. doesn't care about those things. He's trying to pipe 1-600.
The values installed in him by his father, of course.
Yeah.
If I read the notes right, I think Rutschman has the longest home run this year of this group. I don't know if one swing in the regular season matters, but I think he's hit the longest.
Rammer, let me ask you this, because Rocchio mentioned the plus 2,000 odds on Rutschman. You and I, Rammer, we can speak to this. To this part of it. I don't know if you guys saw who is throwing to Adley Rutschman tonight. His dad. Yeah. So Rammer, I mean, I already told Hudson, I showed him that, and I said, hey, this is your goal now in life, is to get there and let me throw batting practice to you in the home run derby.
How fun would that be? That'd be the ultimate. It wouldn't get any better. Because if your kid's pouring champagne in the locker room, you're not there. Right?
I believe so. I believe Robinson Cano won when his dad was throwing to him. Bryce Harper won when his dad was throwing to him. Rammer, I mean, is he going to have that little extra juice there behind him, having his dad throwing him batting practice?
No matter what, nobody knows more about a given player's swing than dad. Nobody.
Yep. You know exactly where to put the ball. You know exactly where he's going to hit it every single time. Hey, before I want to get away from the Derby stuff, because I mentioned earlier the other conversation I had earlier today.
Yeah.
Another thing, I believe this is the first time since 2008 that 2 players that were traded for each other in the offseason are both All-Stars. Pablo Lopez and Luis Ariz. Both All-Stars for the American League and the National League. So I talked to both of them earlier today, and I asked Pablo. So apparently they never met. They did not know each other until they got traded for each other, and now they're really good friends. They FaceTime. They talk all the time. They're both Venezuelan, so they have that connection with that. And I asked Pablo Lopez, I said, if you get in the game tomorrow and you face Luis, I go, do you know how to get him out? And he said that he would be the easiest one to pitch to of anybody, because he goes, you're not going to strike him out. And I know that. He goes, all I need to do is throw strikes. He's going to hit the ball, and you hope he hits it at somebody. So during the National League Media Day, I went and I talked to Luis, and I said, hey, I go, Pablo mentioned that you're the easiest one to pitch to. And he starts laughing, and then when I expounded on it, he was like, yeah, he goes, just hit it where they're not.
I believe statistically, I think Arias is dead last in Major League Baseball in exit velocity.
I can believe that. We saw some of the hits that he got off the Cardinals in Miami.
That's the thing. He's dead last in exit velocity, but he sure as hell knows where to put it in the right spot where you're not going to be there. So but I see what Pablo Lopez is saying. He's like, hey, as long as I get him to hit it to the right spot, it's not coming at him at 100 miles per hour. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the exit velocity thing, it shows you that there's more than one way to do it. I don't think you'd want 9 guys that hit exactly that way, but if you had 2 or 3, 380 is 380, and I think that having different kinds of players that can complement each other. I mean, he's a guy we haven't seen in the big leagues in quite a while. I'm a huge fan, and I don't know if he's going to hit 400, 380, or 320 when it's all done, but I think it's great for the game.
He was, before I had started talking to him, he was talking to another reporter about his love of Ichiro and how Ichiro is one of his favorite players and how he's had conversations with him about hitting and talking about, so that's somebody, a mentor of his, and you can kind of see it in the way that he's been hitting so far this year. All right, so here we go. Let's go.
All right, go ahead.
No, I was going to go ahead. I was going to wrap it up. So what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say one thing because it's always my job to go old school stuff. A lot of people talk about Rod Carew, but with the exit velocity, what I see is more of a Matty Alou, who won batting titles for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 70s. He used a huge bat, big thick handle, and he choked way up on it and just spread the ball all over the field. Played a couple of years for the Cardinals. Was a marvelous hitter. And that's who he reminds me of.
Let's go around. Who do we have for tonight's Home Run Derby? Rammer, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth. I'll be rooting for the ex-Cardinals. And I think it's a pretty good bet that Garcia will be there late. He and Alonso. But I'm gonna be the defender of the little guy, and I'm gonna go Mookie Betts.
Ooh, Rock, who you got?
Mookie doesn't even have a lot of faith in himself in his home run derby. I think he's like I should be the worst odds in the field. There's no way I win. So that would be absolutely amazing if he did. I have to go with, and this is interesting. Just going off FanDuel, some of the odds have shifted from like 5 hours ago. About 5 hours ago, Adolis Garcia was plus 750, and Randy Rosarena was plus 900. Adolis Garcia is now plus 500. Arena is plus 1100. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Ray. He performs on a big stage. I like him at plus 900. I love him at plus 1100. Give me Randy Rosarena. Give me apoplectic Cardinal fans all around the St. Louis area.
Rock, I'm with you. I'm also going with Randy Arozarena for tonight. I believe it's but I have him, so I have Randy Arozarena beating Pete Alonso in the championship, and I believe that's about plus 2,100 for that exact outcome to happen in the Home Run Derby tonight. So I'm going with Randy Arozarena on the big stage. We saw him in the World Baseball Classic. We saw him in the postseason. The guy loves it when all eyes are on him, and I think he's going to show out again tonight. Yep, I think we'll see if he listened to his manager and kept the cowboy boots at home, and it won't be taking batting practice in those. But I'm going Randy Arozarena versus Pete Alonso in the championship here tonight.
Well, if you hit on that, then when you come back from Seattle, I think it's the entire Claves Online group going to be treated to dinner, thanks to Joe.
Dinner on Joe.
Yeah.
If you are watching tonight, I plan on going around all of the areas where balls might be hit. As you can see, I'm dressed very brightly tonight.
Nice.
So look for this is not because of T-Mobile. This is because I picked the brightest shirt that I had, and this is it. So look for me Joe, when you are watching tonight. Yes.
You don't need to be on TV. You're already a minor celebrity.
I want somebody to take a screenshot of their TV tonight and post it. And if they do that, you know what? I'll send you 2 tickets to a Cardinal game courtesy of Claves Online.
Oh, there it is.
So Yeah, so I'll put it out there for that. So we'll have that. Hey, we're brought to you each and every day by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Rammer, your friends at Royal Banks.
At Royal Banks of Missouri in St. Louis, the East Side, St. Charles County, and Northeast Missouri, each and every branch feels like your hometown bank. Royal Banks, for better service means better banking.
He is Matt Rocchio. He is Bob Ramsey. We're going to be back again tomorrow to preview the All-Star game right back here in Seattle, home of the Mariners, right here on ClaibsOnline.com.
At St. Louis Acura, we have over 100 new Acura models and over 160 pre-owned models in stock or on the way in May. Get 4.9% financing for up to 60 months on 2023 Acura MDXs, TLXs, Integras, and RDX models. Or get a certified rate as low as 3.49% on certified TLX and MDX models. And you can earn up to $1,500 in loyalty incentives. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.